All right, so it doesn't matter whether you start out in the guard, they start out mount. You want to start pre-positioning as early as you can. Whatever arm's in danger, again, they're not grabbing onto your fingers, right? So you're going to be able to get your fingers up onto your bicep. And they've got a lot more body motion to do the attack than you do to get the defense. So there's no excuse for you to not get the ideal defense. So let's say that everything's kind of end up in a not so good position, right? And sure. Get the armbar. We'll have to work on that.
Yeah. I understand how to get in my air. I can get it from.
All right. So, let's say that I'm here and he's super disciplined. I've still got my defensive posture. That's all good. But let's say he's super disciplined and he's not doing anything that's going to give me any opportunity to roll up into him. All hope is not lost. Now, there's a couple different things that I do to get out of this kind of a position. One thing you can do, and you're going to need to be a little bit more flexible for this version, is if he leans back at all, if he starts going back like that, one thing you can do is bridge up and take the whole thing over to the side. Right? Once you're there, then you can start working your way back into the conventional position.
That's pretty.
Right? Yeah. The key is that I'm finding a way to get my hips facing down on the ground. That's what's really important. And all of these things, I'm getting to the point where I'm oriented where I can put his knees to his face. So even though, like in that particular scenario, I'm having to bridge this way and force him over there, that's the key. I've got this strong defense here. He's not just going to take it. I keep that locked in, keep my elbows in tight. He's not going to take it. Then I can work on, and then really make him eat his knees. I'm going to drive in until I feel like I've got control of it. Okay.
Was it basically like a big oompa and then like we weren't here that day, but like
we do it here.
Like the wrestling thing, the big bridge out there and spin under?
We do it here.
All right.
So I'm here. I've got this. I'm basically trying to get him to lay down on his side over there. So I'm here, pushing in and driving in. Yeah, just like a oompa.
That's not that bad.
Right, so I'm there. Bring my feet in, pushing in. Now there's even some variations on that. I've done what I used to do before I was more disciplined is I would actually step my foot all the way over his body. But that gets into, you don't have any base to work with at that point. You're basically stalling out. Even if you try to, and then if you try to step all the way over to the other side of his body, he's got a chance of doing the belly down armbar.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is, your only goal is to get to the point where you can get your base. So I'm laying him down on the side. I'm depending on him trying to pull on that. Maybe he's thinking he'll do a belly down armbar. I just have to make sure that I keep everything tight and bring him back into place. Another scenario, and we'll basically take your pick. Which one do you want to do? Because they're not going to be equally easy. We're going to get that armbar again? Yeah, just sit in. All right, so the other thing I can do is I can get a little bit of momentum going, and I'm going to basically pop my hips up in the air and switch my base while I'm still in this. All right, so I'm here. I'm going to pop up. Right? Now I'm flattened out, but again, because I'm maintaining a nice control here, if he tries to push into me, I don't let him. And then I work. This is not easy, but then I work my way up right back to here. Again, our goal is to get into this position, and we do the rest. So, the first way is we're depending on him keeping his body fairly tight. You know, because usually this arm is going through from the head down that way, which makes it easier to push him over that way. So we're here, I'm going to do that kind of hoopa thing. Switch my hips. Bring in.
How about that? I mean, if you try that one and kind of miss it, it kind of automatically puts you in the second one, right? If you get the hips wrong, it's the same as the second one, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, all that really matters is that you're just getting your hips to the ground, right? We got that one, and then the other one is here. Pushing here. Quite over here. Whole time. Notice all these armbar defenses. Look at what the common elements are. I'm pre-positioning my endangered arm on the bicep, catching the leg, and then building the rest of my escape from there. And all the escapes boil down to don't eat his knees. That's what you need to remember, these two things. Getting pre-positioned here, as early as possible, catching the leg, and then finding an avenue to make him eat your knees. Right? So pick one of those two, whichever one's easier for you, and practice that. All right?